Have you ever noticed that some women don't need to try hard to be noticed? They walk into a room and, without saying a single word, everyone feels something different, almost like an invisible energy flows through the space. It's not the perfect makeup, it's not the most expensive outfit, not even the red lipstick. It's something much deeper. And that's exactly what we're going to uncover today. How to become the kind of woman who hypnotizes and naturally attracts everyone around her, through 3 hidden pillars that very few people know about, but that can completely transform the way you're seen, remembered, and desired. We live in a time where quick, superficial advice is everywhere. Open any social media platform and you'll see suggestions like, dye your hair this way, wear this perfume, or put on this dress that will make you irresistible. But if it were really that simple, then every woman walking out of a salon would instantly be surrounded by admirers, and we both know that's not the case. These tricks might catch someone's eye for a few seconds, but they don't hold real interest. True magnetism doesn't come from a shade of lipstick or a pair of high heels. It comes from the energy you radiate without saying a word. Think of it like a diamond compared to costume jewelry. At first glance, they might both shine, but only one has true essence and value. The other loses its charm the moment it's examined closely. That's exactly the difference between a superficial presence and a hypnotic one. Picture yourself walking into a crowded room. You're not wearing the flashiest outfit, you didn't pile on makeup, and yet you notice people turning their heads toward you. The most interesting part? They can't even explain why. That's because the human body picks up invisible signals: posture, rhythm, energy, confidence. It's a silent language that speaks louder than words. What we're diving into here isn't a collection of quick tips that fade away. It's a deeper exploration of 3 pillars that sustain real attraction. 3 foundations rooted in science, psychology, and even history, showing us how certain women became unforgettable. But before we break them down, we need to understand something essential: the play between energies. Because it's within that play that the true secret of magnetism is found. I grew up in a household where I could see these 2 energies in action every single day. My father embodied masculine energy in its purest form: decisive, firm, disciplined, always ready to solve problems. My mother, on the other hand, was the perfect example of balanced feminine energy: sensitive, nurturing, intuitive. And guess what? Without ever raising her voice, she was the one who naturally drew people in, inspired trust, and left the deepest marks on hearts. Feminine energy is often misunderstood as weakness, but that couldn't be further from the truth. To be feminine is to carry the strength of softness, of connection, of creativity. It's like water, flexible, fluid, able to flow around obstacles, and, over time, even shape stone itself. Masculine energy, in contrast, is like the stone, structured, firm, protective. And when the 2 work together in harmony, balance is created. The problem is that many women have been taught that in order to be respected, they must suppress their feminine energy and lean into the masculine. They become overly competitive, hardened, always in battle mode. But when 2 similar forces collide, there isn't attraction, there's repulsion. It's like placing 2 magnets with the same pole facing each other. Instead of drawing closer, they push apart. Men and women don't need to fight for roles, they need to complement one another. The masculine brings focus, direction, and action. The feminine brings sensitivity, inspiration, and intuition. When a woman embraces her true essence instead of denying it, she becomes magnetic. And that's the key. To be hypnotic, a woman must reclaim her feminine energy, not hide it. It's not about submission, it's about magnetism. And that magnetism opens the door to the first pillar of irresistible presence: the oracular energy of feminine communication. History is full of women who ruled not with armies, but with words, glances, and presence. Cleopatra is perhaps the most iconic example. She didn't need fiery speeches or loud displays of authority. With just a few carefully chosen words, a lingering gaze, or even silence, she captivated men who commanded entire empires. Her true weapon was suggestion, not force. That's what oracular energy is all about. Communicating in a way that sparks mystery instead of handing out obvious answers. It's about suggesting, hinting, inviting, rather than ordering or begging. Think of it like a movie trailer. It doesn't reveal the whole plot, but it shows just enough to make you want more. Pacing is crucial here. Someone who speaks too quickly often comes across as nervous or insecure. But someone who speaks slowly, with intentional pauses, radiates control. Those pauses are magnetic because they create expectation. In the silence between one phrase and the next, the listener's mind starts filling in the gaps, imagining possibilities. And that's where the magic happens. And science backs this up. Neuroscience shows that anticipation activates dopamine, the brain's pleasure chemical, even more than the reward itself. In other words, when you build suspense in your communication, you create a stronger emotional response than if you gave everything away at once. This ability turns ordinary conversations into unforgettable experiences. A woman who masters oracular energy doesn't need to fight for attention. Her voice, her rhythm, even her silence become captivating. And it's this kind of magnetism that sets the stage for the second pillar, the art of seduction through mirroring. Now we step into fascinating territory, the male mind. There's a psychological phenomenon I like to call male neurolock. Simply put, when a man feels validated in his identity, he forms deep, lasting bonds with the person who recognized him. It's as if an invisible switch flips inside his brain, linking pleasure and trust to that woman's presence. Think about a man who works hard day and night, but rarely receives genuine acknowledgement. He might have success, money, and status, yet still feel unseen. Then someone looks at him and says sincerely, "I admire your discipline." That simple phrase creates a rare spark inside him. His brain records that emotional high and immediately connects it to the person who gave it to him. But here's the catch. Validation is not flattery. A hypnotic woman never overdoes it, never fakes it. She watches closely, notices authentic strengths, and reflects them back. Flattery feels hollow and manipulative. Real validation, on the other hand, builds trust and connection. It's like offering a thirsty traveler a refreshing glass of water. It satisfies something deep. Take a man who values freedom, for example. Many women would try to clip his wings, complain about his independence, or pressure him to stay. But the magnetic woman takes a different route. She might say, "I love how you know how to live your independence." In that moment, he feels accepted instead of judged. And paradoxically, that acceptance makes him want to come closer. This is the secret of seduction through the mirror. By offering genuine recognition, you become associated with pleasure in his mind. And the more often it happens, the stronger the bond grows. Which leads us to the third and most powerful pillar, the sovereignty of sexual and emotional self-mastery. Now we've arrived at the most powerful foundation of all. Many women believe they have to chase, text constantly, or always be available to hold a man's interest. But the truth is exactly the opposite. Real attraction is born when you show that you can live without him, but that life with you would be extraordinary. Sexual and emotional sovereignty means having full awareness of your body, your emotions, and your desires. It means not giving up who you are out of fear of losing someone. A woman who knows herself radiates security, and security is more intoxicating than any daring outfit or perfectly chosen perfume. Men aren't captivated by women who beg for attention. They're drawn to women who can step back in silence, without drama, without desperation. That absence creates space for longing. In that silence, desire is born, and he begins to realize he's not the center of your universe, which makes him want to earn his place in it. Cleopatra understood this better than anyone. She didn't present herself as just another woman. She embodied the presence of a living goddess. And she didn't need to declare it, because she communicated it in every gesture, every glance, every pause. Being with her wasn't a right, it was a privilege. That's the essence of sovereignty, not competing for attention, but becoming the very source of it. When magnetic communication, genuine validation, and emotional sovereignty come together, the hypnotic woman emerges. She doesn't need to fight to be seen, because she's already unforgettable. So now let me ask you, will you keep believing that being attractive depends on the right dress, the trendiest perfume, or the shade of lipstick everyone is wearing this season? Or are you ready to awaken the power that's already inside you? The 3 pillars are there, waiting for you to bring them to life. The woman who hypnotizes and draws everyone and isn't born that way. She's built. She's built through the way she speaks, the way she sees others, and the way she sees herself. She's built by choosing silence instead of desperation, suggestion instead of control, validation instead of criticism. And now I want to hear from you. Which of these 3 pillars do you feel you need to activate first? Oracular communication, seduction through the mirror, or sexual and emotional sovereignty? Leave your answer in the comments, because your journey might inspire another woman who's watching this too. And of course, if this video made you think, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share it with someone who needs to awaken the hypnotic woman inside her. Remember, true power isn't about catching someone's eye for a moment. It's about leaving an unforgettable mark that lasts.